What's up, boys and girls?
Welcome back.
Ben Rudnick.
Jonathan Mercado.
Back for another fine episode of Facebook Wednesday. I almost said Friday. No,
I don't know how many years we're going to have to do it on Wednesday before we stop thinking that it's a Facebook Friday.
So, guys, thanks for tuning in. You know, just a couple of things we got going on. Today, what are we going to call today?
Man, there's so many different things. We're running out of ideas, I think, on here. We're trying to be creative with this kind of thing. So we're going to say Top Tier Brand Wednesday. We've talked about some top tier brands today.
I like that. Top tier brands. As you can see, we have one of the top tier brands here. We have a bunch of promos going on right now with a bunch of top tier manufacturers. One being Sony with their, couple of promos going on right now that are ending very, very soon. The Sony retail promo is ending July 9th. The Sony Master Tech promo is ending June 30th, which is literally this week.
Yeah, we're counting down. So you got today, you got tomorrow, and then you got Friday. So one big thing about this contest, and we think we've talked about them, so hopefully you guys know at this point in time, we're running on crunch time. So really be behind the ball if you haven't been paying attention to this one. But you technically have 3 days left. So that's going to be the Master Tech Mobile Solutions opportunity. So like Jonathan said, that one's going to be wrapping up at the end of this week. That's the one where you have to do 15% accessories, and you get an entry for every $500. So just make sure you get with your sales rep. That's the biggest thing on that one, because we've got a lot of people that are very, very close. 14.2%, 13.8% accessories. Yeah. People that have the opportunity, if they buy one set of speakers or one subwoofer, one amp, that they would go ahead and then qualify, get maybe even a dozen entries into that contest. So make sure you get with your sales rep. We have been pretty proactive. Bob's been sending out emails. I know the sales team has been reaching out.
Yep.
But if you are unsure, make sure you get with them, because that is going to be wrapping up.
So guys, just to give you a little background information, it's 15% of your total sales. So in other words, if you buy $5,000, you has to be 15% of amp sub speakers of that $5,000 in order to qualify for X amount of raffle entries. So a lot of guys aren't understanding. It's simple math. 15% of 5,000.
$650.
Yeah. So you need $650. You got it all figured out for me real quick. $650 of amp sub speakers in order to qualify for those entries. So if you buy another head unit, for some reason it gets you up to 5,500. Now you gotta make up that 15% to get to the 15% of 5,500, not 5,000. So now you can put yourself in a negative and lose those entries. So make sure that you're constantly keeping up to date, especially this one that ends this Friday. Keep constantly with your sales rep to see where you're at, because we have the numbers. I've been reaching out to all my customers and giving them updates, so keep that flow going.
Yeah, and you guys should be doing that anyways. Amp speaker subs, regardless of the line, is generally going to be your most profitable portion of the business. So be checking that stuff out anyways when you're going and reaching out and calling us for a head unit. If you're not calling us asking for some speakers too, or you didn't pitch that to that customer, that could be a reminder. But attach. Don't do it just because of contests. Do it because it makes you more money and it makes your customers happy.
Correct, guys. That's going to be the wave of the future, seeing that more and more vehicles are getting complex to change out head units. Amp speaker subs are going to be your how would I say, not going to say survival mode, but going to be, a big chunk of your retail sales these days. It's getting harder and harder to put head units into vehicles. I don't know why the manufacturers feel or think that they gotta, put proprietary stuff when we have such a big major chip shortage, and you can't even change radios out or replace them if they go bad. So not kind of a good common sense for for factory vehicle manufacturers, but that's their thought, that's their train. So make sure that you're always attaching speakers, amps, and subs to every sale.
The OEM is, from the car manufacturer standpoint, has been trying to stamp us out, I feel like, for decades now, and we just won't go away. We keep improvising with the help of some really great partners, which we'll talk about some of that. But there is one other Sony contest. This one is we got a little bit more time on. Going to wrap up July 31st. That's the Race with Ryan Priest contest. So this one is the mobile ES dealer specific. Again, we've talked about it a lot, so I won't go into great detail on that. We have a little bit of time still cooking on the clock there, but don't wait till the last second. Really, really great opportunity to go to 2 different experiences with this Stewart-Haas race team. So get with your sales rep if you're not familiar. Thank you to everybody that is already registered for that one as well.
Exactly, and thank you to the guys that are keeping constantly up to date with the numbers that they have, accumulated over the sales of ES product and also regular lineup. You guys are the MVPs. That's what makes these competitions so successful, is because you're constantly keeping up with it and trying to figure out, how do I get more? How can I win this? How can I do this? Just remember, we've done a couple of competitions already like this, and a lot of guys have liked the competition, so let's keep it going, guys.
Yep, and I was going to say one last one that we got to go over. Again, Kicker, not to be outdone, wanted to make sure they were offering out something to their supporters. So they got the Journey to Stillwater contest still going on, so that's all expenses paid trip to their headquarters in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Man, we've talked about this one as well. Amazing facility, amazing opportunity to kind of see what goes on behind the scenes. A lot of you guys have had that experience before. Even more of you haven't. So hopefully, somebody that hasn't had that experience gets to get that one. But similar to the other contests we're running, that is by support. So every $500 earns you an entry into that one. That's going to go through July 15th. So we're, what was that, putting us at about 2.5 weeks. So we're really not a ton of time on there, but still some time to do some damage. And that trip is going to be August 7th through the 10th. So if you're a Kicker supporter, keep that little chunk of time blocked out there.
Exactly, an awesome facility. All these guys are doing, all these vendors are doing some great trainings and just their facilities. They're reamping them, and it's a great time to go visit these vendors and check their facilities out to see what they're all about and what they're capable of. And then the last promo we have going on, which is going to kind of tie into all head units that you sell. The SiriusXM Tuner Special is still going on. Buy 5, get 1 free. Don't forget, SiriusXM is a great addition to pretty much every head unit manufacturer in the industry. As long as the radio has that little logo that says SiriusXM Ready, it'll definitely work with it. That way you'll get full control of the SiriusXM through the not factory radio, but through the aftermarket radio. There is a company called Viastech that does a lot of the OEM stuff that we do carry. So if you guys have a OEM vehicle and want to add SiriusXM to it, give us a call. We might have a solution for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we were talking about attachments. Again, amp speaker subs, obviously very, very important. Huge drivers. Another attachment that is about as easy as can be. Customer gets the stuff for free after rebate. Customer gets free service to try it out. You just get to be the good guy saying, hey, I saw that you didn't ask me for SiriusXM. How about I hook you up? It's going to cost you a couple bucks here, but I'm going to get you a rebate back so that no out-of-pocket expenses after that. Whether you keep it after that, which they will, because numbers say that a lot of people go ahead with those free trials and end up keeping them. But you leave that on them. You're going to get them set up with the tuner. You're going to get it set up with that free service. You're making a little extra, and again, we keep talking about customer experience. That's a great way to keep your customers happy.
Remember, guys, attachments. We have a ton of lines that a lot of people make fun of, or you guys are selling this, that, and the third. But reality is, guys, you go to McDonald's. Do you want a biggie size that? Yes or no? You should be always asking your customers, do you want, not biggie size it, but you should always be asking them, do you want to add an air freshener? Do you want to add a SiriusXM tuner? Do you want to add LED lighting for your headlights? Window film? All of those are attachments, and there's a reason why companies like Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, etc., even any restaurant you go to, the philosophy is, do you want to add on to your meal? They're asking that because to them it's more money. That's how you guys should be asking in the retail shops.
Yeah, and again, it's basic business 101. A lot of times, we kind of get wrapped up in what we do with the installs, putting systems together and all those kind of fun things, and they're really, really great. But what keeps the lights on is being profitable. So if you're going to get 10 customers, the phone's going to ring 10 times that day, or 20 times, or 5 times, or whatever that is. However many ups you're going to get to that plate, however many swings you're going to get with that baseball bat, you want to make sure that you maximize each one of them. So go ahead and look at that kind of stuff. Have that kind of stuff already planned out. Know what promos you have at your disposal. Know how to pitch those promos. And go ahead and make that extra money. Keep the lights on. We want to see more boats that are out there that are owned by our guys. More supercar. We got guys with supercar owners out there. We want more supercar owners out there. The way you do that is by attaching to every sale and partnering with some brands, much like our vendor spotlight of the week, Alpine, that will protect their pricing, keep great margin in there, and give you great opportunities to attach.
Correct. So, you know, you get all the major brands that we carry, because we do carry a ton of lines. But guys, there's a, you know, very selected few that are very clean online. A lot of vendors are trying to clean it up online. Alpine being one of them that's very, very, very clean online. It is very protected. They want you to have big profit margins. They want you to, obviously, when you talk about Alpine, you're talking about quality. You're talking about, you know, big screen sizes, because they now have an 11-inch Halo style radio. You know, they want you to talk about dash cameras, speakers, their new 8-channel DSP, I can say amplifier. Yeah, it is an amplifier that'll do your whole audio system. So cars are getting more and more technical. Unfortunately, I own one of the hardest vehicles to put a system in it. And let me tell you, it was not a fun feat. It has a ton of speakers. It has the Beats by Dre. It's also a Chrysler vehicle. So we all know the headaches that you're pulling yourself when you get into these vehicles. Alpine has made it very, very easy with a lot of those types of vehicles and installs, where the DSP amplifier is all built into one, and it is an 8-channel. So the good thing is, a situation like that on this particular amplifier slash DSP is it's got auto tuning DSP also, with the wave of a mic that it comes with. You wave the mic in your vehicle while music's playing. It self-adjusts, true time alignment, auto correct, so you don't have to go guessing. And we actually got a surprise visit from Alpine a week ago.
Yeah, I think so. A week.
Yeah, they brought 2 vehicles.
Yeah, Colette and Colin stopped by, and we got a really, really nice opportunity to kind of see exactly what they, well, for one, get to listen to a couple amazing vehicles, but then see and then hear how easy it was for them to make it sound that amazing. And a lot of that was due to this piece right here.
The DSP that it's got in there. You know, it was interesting to see when they shut it off and turned it on. It was like night and day difference, and they showed us how it gets, you know, tuned. And I was very, very impressed with how they wave the mic around, and it's auto self-calibrating. And it's like you're sitting, it doesn't matter where you're sitting at, the music is hitting you in every shape and form.
Yeah, and you're going to see, and again, like Jonathan had mentioned, vehicles are becoming more difficult to work on, but they're also coming with more speakers in there. Just the technology is becoming more and more advanced. So you really have to know how to use a DSP. You really have to know how to tune these things, how to do sound staging. All of those kind of things are very, very important now, especially when you're talking about a top-tier brand that can really provide that experience. Well, that experience also needs to be supported, so it needs to be tuned properly. You know, you can have the best vehicle, the fastest vehicle that's out there, but if it's not tuned properly, if you're not giving it the right gasoline, you know, if you're not taking care of all those other things, you're not going to get the actual horsepower out of it. It's going to be a lot of lost potential. And kind of the same thing I think we're seeing in a lot of systems now, is that we're getting a lot of great systems installed. We're trying to integrate, but not everybody on everybody's team is very familiar with maybe tuning a DSP, maybe even understands that at all. We've got some even shop owners that have been doing this forever, and the concept of a DSP has only been around in the last 2% of their working career. So it's not always familiar. That's one of the huge things with this piece. So again, Alpine, one of the premier brands that's out there. A lot of the shops got a lot of installers, a lot of different installer levels. This makes it easy for even the most basic installer to do a proper tuning and proper sound staging. Like Jonathan said, with this piece here, you can actually take your iPhone, connect through using the DSP controlled app, and then use that as the microphone. So you don't even have to have any specialized tools. Again, a lot of you guys that do work with some other DSP companies know that you gotta get a laptop out, you got a microphone, you're doing all this, you're clicking away. It can get very, very overwhelming. This takes almost all of that out of the mix. So very, very important. Even the guys that know how to do that kind of stuff, it just makes it that much quicker. Again, Colin was out there explaining how with one of the vehicles he's measuring, you know, you're going with a tape measure, measuring from speaker to your head and out here, taking a while. This is a man that knows what he's doing, and it's still difficult. He'll admit it to you. It's still a difficult thing to do when you're having to do all that manually. He's gonna make the thing sound great, but how much time is that gonna take? With this here, you're talking the matter of minutes, and almost anybody that's on the team that's gonna do it. Now, you can still do it with the computer, with the microphone, all that kind of stuff. But again, Alpine helping out with great product, but also making sure it's easy to install and that the customers are going to get the best experience every time.
Correct. So like a 8-channel DSP amplifier like this actually has 50 watt RMS by 6 and also 300 by 1 at 2 ohm. So it'll give you some power to power up pretty much your whole system and DSP at the same exact time. You know, they also make 9-inch Halo floating screens, 11-inch Halo floating screens. They're well known between their Type S's, Type SPE, their Type E's, their Type R's, and then now their new
well, all the status.
Oh my God, Type Status. How can I forget about that? Type Status product, which you know get you fit into from entry level all the way to extreme high quality. You know, you want the best of the best. It's the Type Status stuff. That's gonna be the most insane sounding, you know, sound system you'll put together. They make DVR cameras that are controlled via the head unit. So this front and rear 1080p high-res camera does control through you know, one of their Alpine head units, one of these two. I
was gonna say, I don't want to cut you out, but there might be a promo that got emailed out to you as well on this piece, and maybe a couple other radios that are out here.
Correct. And the cool thing about this is it has lane departure, so it'll warn you when it forward collision. It works on stop and start vehicles. It has a built-in G sensor, so that if the vehicle gets hit or something like that, it records it. And it plays it through the screen. So plays it through the not factory, but aftermarket Alpine radio screen.
Big screen.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool piece. Add this to your mix, guys. They make entry-level CarPlay Android Auto units. They make actually their W650, which is a pretty popular CarPlay Android Auto mechless radio that they have into your obviously lineup. So if you're not currently an Alpine dealer, get a hold of us. You know, we'll tell you what are the requirements to become an Alpine dealer, an SRP account, so that you can start buying from us. Remember, you do have to be an Alpine SRP account in order to purchase Alpine products through us. So if you're not an SRP dealer, you're thinking about Alpine for your stores, give us a call. You know, we will definitely take care of you.
Yeah, and very important. This is for, again, everybody is welcome to watch, everybody is welcome to learn, but the promos that are giving out are for authorized Alpine dealers only. So just piggybacking on Jonathan's point, if you're not an Alpine dealer already, you've been thinking about it, get with us. We're going to get with the Alpine team and see what we can do for you.
Yeah, don't wait too long, guys, because Alpine is very, very strict about their locations of where the stores are. So you can't be close to another Alpine dealer, and if you're not close to an Alpine dealer and you don't have any competition around you, what are you waiting for?
Snatch it on up. And again, that's a huge benefit to working and pairing up with a vendor like Alpine, is that they think about those kind of things. It's a very, very important thing for them. They want to make sure that their dealers are, again, properly supported from a product standpoint, from POP standpoint, just from marketing in general, but they also want to make sure that you're not piling up on top of each other. They want to keep some exclusivity there. So don't be the last guy to the phone. If there's nobody in your area that has it, especially if there's other shops around, don't be the last guy to the phone asking for that, because a lot of times first come, first serve. If somebody comes in there and makes a great case in that area and they're willing to go ahead and do an opening order and lock it down, they might go ahead, get that line, and then lock you out of it. So put a little bit of a sense of urgency there.
Yeah, pretty much. So give your GoFast rep a call and ask about how to become an SRP dealer through us, so that way you call in your order. Hey, I need that Alpine ILX F509. Oh, you're an SRP account? No problem, I can send it to you. Oh, Mr. Customer, that isn't an Alpine SRP account. Oh, I need that ILX 509. Sorry, sir, I can't sell it to you because...
Let me direct you to the guy down the street where you can go ahead and buy it from. You probably don't want to buy it from that guy, though.
So make sure, if you're interested in the Alpine line, give your GoFast Sales Rep a call. We have ways to make you an Alpine dealer, including being an SRP dealer, which is a very exclusive thing that we're doing. So in order for you to be an Alpine dealer, just make sure you contact your sales rep. We'll give you all the 411.
Yeah, and it's also a very, very exciting time. Again, a lot of changes have happened within Alpine, a lot of refreshing of some of the lines. That's why right now we've got some of the previous gen S-types out here. Those are going to be part of that email ad that we were talking about. But I think we've seen every S-type S2 speaker come in now, R2 speaker. They have some really, really great products that are out that we want to make sure we highlight as well. I think this is probably like internally one of our most talked about pieces, but the slim loaded Type R subwoofer enclosure. If you have not, I think it's RSS 10 or 12V. Yeah. If you've not heard this, I know Colette and Colin have been going around, and Colette's actually done this a couple times. If you've not heard this, one of the most impressive sounding slim subs I think you are ever going to hear. So that's new to the lineup. Again, we talked about the status stuff, all new to the lineup. The 509, 511, been up for a little bit, but still got a lot of new features. Very, very fresh in the minds of a lot of consumers. So a really exciting time for Alpine as well. If you haven't checked them out in a while, if you haven't taken a look on the website, you're going to see a lot of new stuff and a lot of excitement out there. A lot of excitement.
So guys, if you're like, once again, I hate to sound like a dead horse here, but in reality is, if you're interested in getting a little bit higher attachment rate to your company, I hear it all the time. Hey, how do I get more money off of my customers? I'm only selling XYZ. I want to make becoming an Alpine dealer, being an SRP account with us, opens up the doors to their entry level stuff all the way up to their type status stuff, which their type status stuff is on a whole different level than a lot of its competition, as in quality of sound, ring of ticket. It's not something that you're ever going to see, well, that you probably will see it at other shops that are Alpine dealers, but you won't see it at a lot of Alpine SRP accounts, because unfortunately it's like being I would say a Ferrari owner. You're a Ferrari, Porsche owner, McLaren. You're in that field of playing with sound quality. You know what I mean? Not trying to say that it's too rich for everybody's budget, but in reality it's a different type of level of status. That's why it's called type status, of sound system. It's legit one of the higher end stuff. So
yeah, and a lot of the shops that are out there that are Alpine dealers could capture that business. So we do stock the products. So if you can land those beautiful jobs, and hopefully they do come in every single week. Hopefully you'll land 2 of those status jobs a week. That's really what we're hoping for, but we can support you with that stuff as well.
Big money, guys. Big margin, big profits, big everything. No internet, clean as a whistle, and you get the Alpine name, which everybody in their mother knows. Literally, my parents know about Alpine since they had their cassette deck players in their old IROC Zs. So, guys, if my parents know, and let me tell you, my parents are very old school. My parents know, your parents are gonna know, and so is everybody else.
Oh yeah, old Circuit City boy here. I was an Alpine supporter, 25 years ago now, so very familiar with it.
Oh yeah.
And kept the quality too. Kept the name nice and clean. Kept the quality nice and clean. Very, very consistently high level brand. So again, people that have been in the game, Maybe they haven't had a system put in a car, maybe they just bought a new car for the first time in 10 years. Chances are the previous car they had probably had an Alpine system where they at least got pitched out. So when they come back into the shop, it's going to be something that's familiar. And again, one of those nice tickets that you really like to see come out of your shop whenever you have some of the Alpine product on there, you know it's going to be top tier. And one other thing I want to make sure we talk about too, because we, again, run out of space really, really quickly here, is that they do a ton of restyle kits as well. So again, Jeeps are still some of the biggest, hottest of vehicles to do upgrades to. Those are the biggest spenders that are out there in general, you know, Jeep owners. They do a ton of the restyle kits, top tier stuff as well. So make sure if you didn't have that top of mind when you see that Jeep person rolling in and you are an Alpine dealer, refresh yourself on that line as well.
Yeah, the Jeep family, those guys spend some money because they're not buying a Jeep for $20,000-$30,000. It's $50,000 or better. Where I've seen all the newer Jeeps, you know what I mean, and those guys, they get crazy. The biggest complaint in every Jeep owner's, you know, every Jeep owner, I mean every single Jeep owner, is the speakers in my Jeep, especially if you have a JL, suck. They are too low, I can't hear them when I'm driving, etc., etc., etc. Well, Alpine has a direct fit for all JLs and JKs. They also have the restyling fits for off-road maps, which a lot of Jeepers do also, is go off-road with their Jeeps. So they've integrated all that stuff to make a slick, nice look. And on top of that, you have the Alpine name. So it's a very, very well-known name. It's not like other brands that are out there that are fighting for that market share. They kind of, not saying own it, but they have a big, they're a big player in that field.
Oh man, ask Roy, ask Colette, that all of the Jeep events that they go to, they probably have the most popping tent that's going to be there. They probably do as many installs at some of these events, and not even just Jeep restyle installs. They probably do as many installs at some of these events as some shops wish to do in a month.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's definitely huge demand. Don't let some of the price tags scare you away, because they will tell you 100% that there are plenty of people that are out there looking for this, that are more than willing to pay their hard-earned money for some quality product. So if you are scared to pitch that out, you are missing out huge. And again, at our shows, ask Roy, ask Colette how they do at those shows. Give them an opportunity to tell you about it. And you'll want to get in on some of that action.
Yeah, and once again, like I stated earlier, Jeep owners are not cheap. Make sure you're attaching everything you can to that Jeep, because they will spend the money, and especially if you do like snap financing also, it's a win-win for you. So snap financing, they already got approved for $6,000, $8,000 of credit line with snap financing. It's easy for you to just ring up that ticket with all this Alpine stuff in their Jeep. So make sure that you guys, A, snap financing, B, make sure you carry an Alpine brand or some type of brand similar to this that's gonna mark up that ring. Guys, thank you for tuning in. This concludes this week's Facebook Live.
Yeah, thank you to Alpine for being a platinum sponsor at Mobile Expo 2023. We'll be seeing you, I'm sure, at 2024. If you didn't have an opportunity to see at the Alpine booth at MX23, we're going to kick you over to the interview with Bob Hernandez. So stick around to check that out. And then come on by next week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Adios.
Mobile Expo 2023, Bob Hernandez in the Alpine booth with none other than my girl, Colette. Colette, we do this every year.
We do, and I'm good at it.
You're
right?
great at it. You're the best at this.
You're a wise
ever.
guy.
So Colette, tell us what's new this year.
All right, Alpine has created some amazing sound quality speakers. This is our status lineup. Very unique. It has a crop surround. You just see the quality of the speaker. It's a three-way with our crossover off-board crossover. This is Status. This is the best of the best sound quality. And then we move over to a Status processor. And this is a high-res player where we use Tidal in our stereos, where it produces high-res. So the combination, Alpine was always a sound quality company, and we hold our name to it. This is what made us, and we continue to build the most cutting-edge product.
It absolutely is.
It's the best sound. It's just,
and I tell you,
sound is what consumers are after.
The thing about Alpine, that's from all the years that I've been in this industry, it's always been that premium brand. Come here closer to me. I don't bite unless I've not been fed. I swear, I promise.
Nice guy.
So, and Alpine, like I was saying, Alpine has always been the premium product. If you had if you were an Alpine dealer, you were a somebody in those days.
You're somebody today.
You're a somebody today. Well, I'm talking about back when they were selling Alpine wagon wheels, because that's how far back I go.
Wow.
Colette,
wow, that's a long time ago.
I think you might have been around with me.
I think so too.
So Colette, I wanted to present you with the Platinum Sponsor Appreciation Award. Alpine always supports us in everything we do. Anytime GoFast has an event, Alpine is there, and I just wanted to thank you for your support, the training, the subwoofer you came and taught us at the show, at our office the other day. Thank you so much for your support.
I gotta say, we can't be more proud to be doing business with you. It's just a great partnership, and I'm proud about it. So
don't start to tear up. Thank you so much, Colette. We're gonna hug. Yes.